Good afternoon. On behalf of the director, Susan Weber, it's my pleasure to welcome all of you here in the room and those of you watching live elsewhere or watching in the future to today's symposium, Disrupting Distance, Evolving Connections and Disconnects in the Digital Age. The subject for the symposium is, if not dictated by, then in some dialogue with, the Bard Graduate Center's research theme for the academic year 2017-18, which is, what is distance? Distance, once we stop to think about it, may be one of those outstanding, shaping, but most of the time invisible categories in the academic world. Certainly for an institution such as this one, which is devoted to studying the past through things, and the past could be just when I started speaking a few seconds ago. It's the present that is hard to find. The future is always out there waiting for us, and the past is always growing in the rearview mirror. Distance is the key to understanding the past. Distance is maybe the key to doing scholarship in the humanities altogether, because the flip side, as we know, of distance is not necessarily nearness, but empathy. And so the project of distance, of unraveling distance, because it can never be obliterated, it's always there. Even the great 19th century German historians who invented for us the ambiguous gift and presented it to us of historicism, were not entirely convinced that it was historically possible to go back to the world, the mental world of the past. And so historicism may itself be an ahistorical category, just because of distance. And I suspect if we were to take any number of subject matter that we cared about, we would find lurking deep in one of the most problematic of its recesses, the problem of distance. So I look forward to hearing about distance today, and distance is ever more with us as a category, precisely because the digital world seems, at least on the surface, to obliterate distance, to help us navigate the shoals of distance in an unprecedentedly smooth way, though perhaps in that only underscoring the problem of distance itself. But that and other riddles, no doubt I will leave to those better placed to comment on them. I would just step out of today for one moment to announce, since this is the appropriate venue for this, that at the Bard Graduate Center we have just instituted, to begin with the next academic year, a digital requirement for our students. Not a coding requirement, we're not a coding nation on West 86th Street, but a tools requirement. That's to say, recognizing that there are certain kinds of mental labors, intellectual inquiries, for which digital tools provide an enhancement, provide a way of understanding that complements and builds out from the more traditional tools of the scholar in the humanities. And so that will be integrated into the orientation for our new students, built into the required coursework, and all of them will be required to do a digital project at some point along the way to their master's in order to qualify for the degree. And that, I think, is it's appropriate. I mean, language requirements were instituted when scholarship in the humanities became international, and people realized that intelligent things could be said in languages other than one's own and in intellectual communities distant from one's own. And I think it's certainly the case now that for our students to be able to fully grasp not just the world around them, but the learned tools for grasping the world around them, it's important for that to be integrated into their training. And so that makes this venue, this kind of a symposium, and all of you here today even more important as, in a sense, the kind of people who appreciate just that sort of thing. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce Jesse Morandi, who's the director of the Digital Media Lab here, and who will be spearheading that pedagogical initiative to introduce today's speakers and talk about the symposium. Jesse.
Thank you so much. I'm so pleased to welcome you all to today's symposium. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. I'd like to first thank the facilities and James Congregan for all their work on this event and putting it together, and a special thanks to Laura Mitski, who helped coordinate and is a great collaborator, and I couldn't have done this without her, so thank you, Laura. I'd also like to thank Peter Miller and Susan Weber and the Bard Graduate Center for supporting this event and continuing to encourage and advance digital humanities scholarships and projects. Through the Digital Media Lab, our Brown Bag Talks, this symposium, and our Focus Project digital initiatives, we are able to provide our students and community with incredible opportunities to thoughtfully contemplate and question emerging technologies. So thank you to the Bard Graduate Center for their support. And finally, just one, before beginning, I wanted to dedicate today's symposium to the late David Jaffe, who we lost just over a year ago. He was a vital member of our community. David organized and curated the new media speaker series, which this symposium grew out of. He was a champion of digital humanities projects in this classroom and in his own scholarship. For him, digital tools were a means to inspire his students, to foster collaboration, and to promote innovation. He is certainly missed, but it is comforting to know that his spirit remains alive through this symposium. So shout out to David. He was a great colleague and a great man. We miss him. New media technologies are continually complicating, expanding, and disrupting our understanding of temporal, physical, and social distance. Many of these tools serve to connect us, allowing us to communicate and collaborate with one another regardless of location, helping collapse these physical distances that once separated us. Others help us gain new perspectives and experiences. Augmented reality has helped bring the embedded past and potential futures of place alive in our present moment, juxtaposing the two in ways that both provoke and entertain. Through virtual reality, we're able to walk through lost civilizations and explore the cities of tomorrow. We're able to look through the eyes of another, be it an Antarctic ice diver, a Guatemalan weaver, or a Syrian refugee. Yet with each of these advancements, an evolving cascade of unforeseen impacts, issues, and complications have emerged over time that continue to reshape how we use these technologies and how we view them. We are forced to renegotiate platforms that once were meant to unite but now divide. We must reevaluate the implications of distance, disconnection, and solitude as we struggle to find balance between global and the local, the private and the public, and the work and personal lives we manage. We must reconcile that the progress, opportunity, and increased efficiency afforded to certain voices and groups is often linked directly to the disenfranchisement and disconnection of others. Today's talks explore the infrastructures, tools, and projects that are reshaping our understanding of distance in its many forms and begins to illuminate some of the complexities, tensions, and challenges that have emerged as we grapple with their integration into our lives.